Yeah. Please tell me that I can't, that I won't, that I fail, that I'll never make it out, yeah. Please tell me all the bad, never good, fill my head full of every single doubt, yeah. Please say any negative thoughts, I pop off when I hear people say I cannot. I get off to the thought of proving everyone wrong, I won't stop to the top, so you better back off and get lost. I'ma stay loud, stay proud, never running out, never heading south. I'll be spreading out, call it word of mouth, can't put me down, I'll be getting loud. You can have your doubts, not what I'm about, have your fucking clout. It be raining now, I keep making sound, go another round, bitch I'm legend bound, can't stop me now. You don't wanna fuck with me, a slow burn like a disease. Just tell me that I can and I'll show you things that you couldn't believe. Just tell me that I can. Just tell me that I can. Just tell me that I can. Just tell me that I can.
Welcome to Friday Night Lights. I am your host, Mikey, and as always, my partner in crime, Tommy. How you doing, brother?
What's going on, Mr. Mikey? Are you ready, man? 2 Sundays in a row with no Buffalo Bills football. It is so weird.
It seems like it's been forever since they played, man, when they had that opening kickoff, and there was that beatdown, and I got all excited. And then I've watched 2 teams play twice since. Just seems weird.
And another whole weekend of football with no Buffalo Bills football.
What's going on, GG? How you doing, buddy?
Yeah, what up, Daniel, man? Glad to have you in here, man.
So we'll get started tonight with a little bit of news. Justin Herbert has fractured ribs after last night's game.
Yeah, that was a hell of a game.
It happened in the fourth quarter, and you saw him with about 5 minutes left to go, wincing in pain. Mm-hmm. Down 2 scores. With like 3:50 or something like that left. Do you let him go back out there?
I'll tell you what, I was watching at work. Luckily, I got to watch last night because they had an extra security guard in there to help me out. Not that I need it, but it's good to have so I can kind of relax a little bit. But so I got to watch the game a little bit, and my God, man, he was taking some shots all night long. And I will say this. There was a play where he was rolling out. It was like a little under 2 minutes. I think it was a 3rd down, I'm not mistaken. And he tried to throw it. And it was short. Yeah, it was like to the ground. And I said, and at that point, of course, I'm not, I'm just talking to myself. And I'm like, he's doing more harm to the Chargers right now by being in there. Like he's no help. But then as I say that, he throws a dart. He throws a beautiful, beautiful pass. So I'm like, okay. So listen, I get it. We get it as Bills fans, right? Mm-hmm. Josh Allen, we've seen him banged up. And he's going to play. And that's what these guys do. They're warriors. So I'm going to go on the defense and say, not the defense, but I'm going to go on the side of the Chargers by saying, you know what? If the guy has the heart and the fight and he wants to be out there, I know it sucks, and I get what you're saying because it's a long season, but it's tough to tell your leader we're just going to sit you here, and you know what I mean? Because technically, look what happened. They scored the touchdown, and they almost get the onside kick, which is very rare nowadays in the NFL with the how you kick it now. Bro, they almost had it. So imagine they take him out, and they don't get that. So who knows how the game would have unwinded. But no, I keep him in there. But you know what? Now look, right? He could miss some time, right? Is what you're saying?
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know if it did any more damage because he really didn't get hit. They played a soft shell zone that prevent defense that lets you score every time you play it. It prevents you from winning. That's what I call prevent defense. And they went down and scored. So, I mean, I don't know. If it was Josh plays through it. So I was just wondering, 100%. Like when he pump faked and he couldn't run and he could have walked 3 more steps and got the first down on 3rd down.
Yeah, dude.
And he threw it away. I'm like,
I was wondering too. I'm like, why when he just go there? Like he could have ran there because it couldn't. Yeah, right. I know, but then I was like, that's what I was telling him. I'm thinking, why is he even in there if he can't even throw the ball 5 yards, but then he throws a 35-yard dart. So it's like, I don't know, man. But either way, I give the kid credit, man. Tough SOB. He was taking hits all night. And by the way, I do want to say something real quick to Scott's opinion.
I want to hit that.
Yeah,
I don't think so.
Yeah, well, I will say this though, and I'm not going to really. I'm going to let you talk about that in a second. But my point is, on week 1, and I know we're in week 2 now, and KC played week 2. You know how a lot of people have been saying, well, the week 1, don't go by week 1. There's teams are. I will say this. I kind of agree with that, and I kind of somewhat disagree because, listen, KC looks good so far in week 1 and week 2. I'm just saying they haven't really lost crazy amount of going into the season. They're still a good team. Buffalo Bills handled their business. We know they're a good team. They handled their business week 1. There are some teams that didn't look too good. That may be the case moving forward. They may just not be as good as people thought they were going to be. Like Denver. Denver may not be as good as everyone maybe hyped them up to be with getting Russell. I'm just saying, I know it's week 1, but it's very possible some of these teams may not be what we thought they were going to be. And I know it's week 1. It's too early to say it, but I'm just throwing it out there because a lot of the good teams that we know are good year to year, the KC, Buffalo Bills, they all handle their business. They did. I mean, no matter how we look at it, they look good, right? So I don't know. Go ahead and touch base on that.
Okay, so do I think KC is better without Tyreek? No, I don't. Are they still one of the elite teams in the NFL? Absolutely. Patrick Mahomes still looks as good. But Patrick Mahomes got away with a few things last night, that the Chargers didn't capitalize on. They don't have that deep threat that they had before, so everything's screen short passes. At some point, you're going to run into a team that, that doesn't let him get away. I mean, Patrick Mahomes is special. He is. He's an escape artist.
Yeah.
But he got away with 2. Asante Samuel Jr. dropped 2.
I should have had it. I know.
2 and 1 that would have been a 100-yard pick 6.
Yeah.
So, are they better without Tyreek on offense? No. Overall, as a team, I do think so because their defense is better this year than it was last year. That defensive line is good.
Yeah. We're gonna have to
that
really
rookie
game
Crawford. And Jones looks like he dropped a little bit of weight and he was dominant. Frank Clark started rounding back into form. The 2 linebackers are really good. Their secondary is still a little suspect from time to time.
Yeah.
But that defense looks better. So overall, is Kansas City better? Yes. Is that offense as good? I would say no.
Yeah, I agree. I think I agree with that because they did sputter a few times on offense, especially early on that first half. It was. I even text you. I think at one point I'm like, "Damn, KC ain't looking too hot." Like Mahomes just threw an interception. Of course, it was turned over. It was an interception, but no. I mean, look, as long as they got Andy Reid coach in there and Patrick Mahomes throwing the football and Travis Kelce, and their defense did improve from since last year in midseason. They're still going to be a problem. They're still going to be a tough out. However, I can't wait to play them because
neither can I.
We've gotten a lot better as well. So, and they lost a weapon, right? So they got a little better on defense, but they also they declined a little bit on offense, which is, you can kind of see that, right? By the way, that stupid freaking play they do on the goal line where they shovel it off to like a running back or tight end. A defense has to read. If you read that right, you could take it.
Yeah, they read it right last night, and they stuffed it. That's the first time I've ever seen anybody stuff that for them.
Yeah, because they do it a lot. If you see the formation, you can almost guarantee they're going to do that, where he acts like he's going to the right, and then he takes a couple steps and he shovels it.
That speed out, and the reason why that worked so well is because Tyreek Hill used to run the little speed out as well, and everybody went to stop that little speed out. And he would throw it back underneath. They don't have that now.
Yeah.
So it'll be interesting to see how well that works this year.
Yeah. And Daniel, no, I'm not saying it tells the whole story. Obviously not. There's, like we know Green Bay is going to look better than what they did. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that some of the teams that played week 1 that we knew were going to be good, they definitely played up to par, right? Like Kansas City, like our team, like Buffalo Bills. There were some teams that okay, you know what? They're still good, right? The Dolphins, which I Mikey, I don't.
We'll see this week. We'll see what the Dolphins are.
It's
Listen,
going to be interesting.
They have a really, really good defense.
They
I'm
do.
interested to see what their offense does. Everyone talked about how great they were. They put up 13 points on offense last week.
I said it. I know. We're going to go over that tomorrow on Shakedown. By the way,
yeah,
typical Jets guy can't show up. Typical Dolphins guy can't show up. So it's just me and Trevor tomorrow doing the AFC Shakedown. So it's going to be interesting. So I'm going to be commenting on the Dolphins. I'll be the Dolphin guy and the Jets guy. I'll be nice. All right, but anyways, yeah, go ahead, Mikey.
I'm with you, Scott. I do think that it's forcing Mahomes to play smarter and more within the system. Not having to be able to play that backyard football with Tyreek where he just runs as far as he can and he just buys a bunch of time and throws it up is forcing them to actually play within a system. So
yeah.
Although he did make one of those plays yesterday and he hit Kelsey deep and then Derwin James spine busted him.
That was I thought that was illegal to do. I'm surprised.
Not when the guy's trying to jump over you.
Okay, I just thought if you pile drive him down like that.
If you the fact that he was still trying to go is I think the reason why they didn't call it. Because normally, yes, if you run and you scoop him up and you drive him in, it is a penalty now.
But since he jumped up into his
and was trying to get the score.
Yeah, fair enough. I mean,
and he was like kicking. Did you see him like kicking like a little kid as he put him up on his shoulder before he threw him down?
Yeah. By the way, I didn't mention that last week. Did you see that hit the Giants guy did on Derrick Henry last week? I don't know if it was a corner.
No, it was an outside linebacker.
Okay. He looked like a corner compared to right, dude. That was a solid.
Yeah.
Yes, I've never seen Henry take it that clean of a shot before. I just want to throw that out there.
Yeah,
I hope we clock him.
Yeah, and Dallas will get to this as we preview this week's game. But the other piece of news I have is there's a ton of injuries. Like Shaq Leonard is out, Kamara is questionable. We have all these guys, like key name guys, that are either questionable or out already. For this week. A lot of soft tissue things too. Do you think that has a lot to do with them not playing in the preseason?
Yeah, I think so. A little bit. Maybe even also the week one rust that some teams are having that, I was getting to earlier. Some of the teams aren't coming out, a little bit flat. Yeah, 100%, man. And I think that's why I was kind of cool with Josh Allen playing at least the drive. Yeah. And some of the starters, However, Von Miller looked, but Von Miller, he's just a freak. But
he's just special.
Yeah. But I do think it could play a part. But I'm no expert. I don't know because I know they're going hardcore in practice too. So that one is up to debate. I do believe though that your starter should at least get a drive in the preseason to kind of get the flow of the game going, knock that little bit of rust off too. You're going against a different opponent, not just your team. I think it's just a different feel. You get that first real hit late on you too. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. That's just my thinking, but who knows, Mikey?
Yes. And going to Scott's question here. So what's up with Settle, Oliver, Dane? How do you have 11 days off and get more injuries? That's a great segue into our first topic tonight, which is the injury reports are out for the first 2 days.
See, I didn't see him.
For the Bills, Dane Jackson knee has not practiced in either of the 2 days that the injury, hasn't practiced this week. Both days he got DNPs. We'll know more tomorrow.
When did he bang up his knee in practice?
We don't know.
Weird.
He just came back from off, and he has this. All of a sudden, he has a knee injury.
Weird. Okay.
That's not good. He played through the whole game.
Yeah, he seemed fine. I didn't see anything in the game.
Yeah.
Okay.
Ed Oliver, ankle, 2 back-to-back DNPs, which it was what we kind of expected.
Yep.
We'll see what it looks like tomorrow. They could be holding him out as precaution. The one that concerns me is Tim Settle. He has a calf again. That's the same injury that kept him out after the first preseason game, and we didn't see him again until week 1. And he's back with 2 new DNPs. So I don't know if they're just, bringing him along slow and playing it cautious, or if he's truly hurt. That's 2 of our 4-man rotation going against Derrick Henry.
Yeah. Yeah, it's not good. I mean, I think I'll. What happened with Settle? What are they saying with Settle? Was it an injury, or they're
His
not really
calf
saying?
again. Same calf that he hurt before.
Oh man,
Remember, after week 1, we didn't see
I
him
know.
again. He didn't practice. He didn't do anything for the rest of the training camp in the preseason because of the calf. He was
Yeah.
ready week 1, but now it's the calf again.
Well, it's all the Oliver. I think Oliver's going to be a game time decision. I think you'll know. Sunday morning or whatever. It'll be last second, I think. With Dane Jackson, that is concerning that he hasn't practiced all week.
Mm-hmm.
And that they're not really saying when it happened. Like, did he hurt it? Did he hurt it at home? Did he hurt it like?
I have not heard.
Playing with his kids or
knows what happened to him? Let us know. But I have not seen anything on it.
Yeah, that's not good. So if he misses the game, then what? We're Cam Lewis needs to step up there with the two rookies.
We'll have our 2 starters. We'll have our 2 rookies.
Well, I know that, but Cam Lewis would probably get the call up.
Cam Lewis
or not suit up. Sorry, he was suit up.
He wouldn't be inactive. So if these 3 guys are all don't play,
right?
We're going to see Braden Bryant probably come up from the practice squad as one of the defense tackles. I have a feeling we're going to run 5 DNs, and I bet you Shaq's active.
Yeah, I can see Shaq being active this game.
Yeah.
This is. Listen, we know the Titans. The Titans are still the Titans. They're going to run the ball. They're going to try to beat you on the ground. But listen, I see this game going a certain way. That's just we got to be efficient on offense, get ahead quick, and force the Titans to throw the ball where they are so behind at one point that they have to start throwing. Because I'll tell you what, they'll be behind 13 points and still run the ball. Like we need to really get ahead there to kind of like slow that running down, where they're just forced to throw the ball. But I still think, listen, even if Settle and Oliver don't suit up, I still think we have a front enough to stop or contain him somewhat. You know what I mean? He's going to get his yards. He'll get his yards. Will he get a crazy amount of yards? Nah. Listen, the Giants did their job.
Yeah.
The Giants did their job against him. They played a very smart defensive game. They had a good plan, and that should exactly be the plan that Frazier looks at. And trust me, coaches look at film from the week before and how teams handled.
So the Giants had 359 yards, 266 passing, and 93 rushing.
Mm-hmm.
And they didn't have either of their top 2 pass rushers.
Right.
So
yeah, I just I'm not concerned. I'm honestly not. I think we take care of business. I do. I think our D line is even with those 2 gone, if they're gone. Now, listen, Oliver still may play. So
they all still may play. Who knows?
True.
They could just hold them out for precaution, and then tomorrow they could get full practice and be ready to go for Monday.
Well, you still got and luckily the game's not until Monday. It's not a Sunday game. You know what I mean? Like, we it's a long break and a long rehab or whatever is going on, whatever they got to do. And luckily we have one of the, the Buffalo Bills have one of the best, as far as injuries go and like staff to get them up to date, up to speed or whatever you saw.
Absolutely, Daniel. We cannot play the way we came out last week against the Rams. You gotta jump on them early. We can't let them hang around because Henry does tend to wear out the D as they keep going.
100%.
We need to put him down, and we'll get to that during our keys to the game. One of the biggest keys to the game is one of Tommy's favorite topics. So, red zone. It's like Tommy's all-time. Like you got to convert. So, the last 2 on the Bills injury report, Tommy Doyle has been full practice all week.
Okay.
So it looks like he's going to be back. Quentin Morris, hamstring, also going to be back. Looks like he's practiced full this week. So there's a good chance we see those 2 guys. For the Titans, Christian Fulton, cornerback, hamstring, has back-to-back DNPs. They think he's going to be out. They've already called up someone from the practice squad of corner. So their number 1 corner is going to be out. Dontrell Hilliard, running back, hamstring, back-to-back DNPs. Their number 2 running back. Their pass game, their pass catching back. Wide receiver Kyle Phillips, their rookie slot guy, has a shoulder, had a DNP, and then a limited practice today. And we got a super chat from Chewy. If these injuries stay by game time, how does Frazier's scheme change? I don't think it does change. I really don't.
Yeah, nah, it doesn't change.
Because Braden Bryant has played last year, and he played well in a rotation with us. In the defensive rotation, you're going to see Phillips start alongside Daquan, and then you're going to see the wave of our pass rushers. And I have a feeling you're going to see Shaq and Boogie also kick inside from time to time on rushing situations to give those defensive tackles a blow.
Yeah, this is why it's good to have a lot of depth on the line there. Yep. For games like this, for things that pop up, injuries and guys that can't make it that game. Like we're very deep, guys. So that's why I'm not too concerned with, even if Settle doesn't play, we're out. Because Jordan Phillips stepped right up to the plate. He did very good. Shaq didn't even play last week, and we know that Shaq brings it. AJ Epinesa brung it last week. Boogie brung it last week. So we'll be just fine. Gregor Rousseau is healthy, obviously. Von Miller's playing. So I wouldn't really stress that if they do miss it. Yeah.
Because we have Braden Bryant on the practice squad. And that guy played really well last year. He really did. And so having him step up in there, then we have a 3-man rotation on the D line, plus a couple of our DNs who can kick inside and play a good defensive tackle as we need it. So, continuing down with the Titans injury report, offensive lineman, Jamarco Jones, elbow. He had a limited practice, followed up with a DNP. So that's not looking good for him. Offensive line, Dylan Raduns. He's a second-year guy. He has a neck, has back-to-back limited practices. And starting right guard, Nate Davis, knee, did not practice. So he practiced the first day, but then had a DNP. So I wonder if he hurt his knee during practice.
Yeah, or tweaked it or something, yeah.
Yeah. As it is, that we already have 2 of their starters last year playing on our team. And Saffold and Questenberry, let alone their replacements, all banged up. So they have 3 O-linemen banged up. There's top corner, their backup running back, and their starting slot receiver. So when you look at across the board, we're actually in a better injury position because we're also deeper than that team.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
So overall, Tommy, that's where we stand with the injury reports. Tomorrow is going to be a big key on if we're going to see any of our 3 main guys, play. If we see limited to full practices tomorrow, there's a good chance that we'll see them come Monday night. If they're DNPs tomorrow, it's almost guaranteed they're not playing.
I still think even if Allers doesn't practice, I still think he's a game time decision. It's an ankle. Yeah, it's an ankle. And it's one I don't, I think it'll come down to that Sunday, how he's feeling. Because ankles are funky, man. Like he still may feel ginger, let's say tomorrow, right? But Sunday may come along.
That's why I'm saying if they don't get even a limited walkthrough, chances are.
Yeah, but it's an ankle. Ankles are funny, man. He can wake up Sunday and feel really good. And then he can wake up Monday and feel great. You know what I mean? Wrap it up and let's go. You know how ankles are. I'm sure you've had plenty of ankle injuries. Some seem really bad, and it's bad for maybe 2 days. Some you barely twist and you're hobbling for like 2 weeks. So let's hope for him it's something that's 1 week and he feels good tomorrow morning. He's starting to feel a lot better. Tape it up. Let's go.
So Scott Blakely comes in and asks, do you think we see a 3 linebacker set on first down? I think we see a little bit of 3 linebacker set, but that's not our base defense. Our base defense is 4-2-5. So more nickel.
Yeah.
But I do think we will see some 3 linebacker sets, but ultimately, who do you trust more? Dotson or in our rookie, or do you trust Teron Johnson?
Right. Yeah.
Tackling.
Yeah.
So I'll be interested to see how that plays out. Scott comes in and says low ankle, which is better than high ankle. Absolutely.
100%.
Chewy asks a great question here. It says thoughts on Cooks and the amount of plays he should see. I'll be interested to see if Cook even is active come Monday.
It's interesting, man. It's so interesting
because there was 7 passes to Moss that should have gone to Cook, and after his fumble, he didn't see very much time after the fumble. So if he's not going to be that pass catching back, why are you going to have him, dress on game day?
Right. Yeah, I totally agree. If he's not part of the game plan, especially, I mean, there's no point of having him out there. But yeah, I don't know. That's a very good question. I don't know that one. I really don't know. I honestly you know what, that'll boil down to, Mikey. That'll boil down to Settle and Oliver. If they don't play, I don't see Cook playing. They'll bring somebody.
You think they're going to have a load up on more rotational defensive guys?
Yep. They'll have to, because what if somebody, let's say one of those guys get banged up, right? Yeah. Then you're short. Then why have three dress running backs, especially if one, let's say he's not really part of the game plan, which I don't know. Maybe he will be. I have no idea. Honestly, this game plan, this is a tricky one for me. How the offense is going to play against Titans. I'll tell you what, we play very well on offense versus the Titans. It's like, we can pass and run. We didn't do well in the red zone. We didn't execute that last drive. We actually executed very well up until we got
until he slipped on 4th down. He slipped. Let's call it what it is.
Like that drive, I was so confident. Like, do you remember? Like, I remember that game like it was yesterday, bro. Like, I was calm. Like, I'm like, all right, good. They were great, bro. They were working the clock down. I'm like, oh, this is great. We're gonna go ahead and win the game. They're gonna have no time left. They're just driving with ease, Mikey. And then it just all fell apart. Like, just like that, man.
So Pim comes and says he's worried about Kyle Phillips. I'll be interested to see if Kyle Phillips plays. He's on the injury report, and he's been DNP and then limited practice. He has a shoulder injury, so I'll be interested. I loved Kyle coming out in the draft process. He was one of the guys that I thought could be a slot, and then we went out and got Shakir, so I was okay with it. But he had the same kind of setup that Khalil had, where he could punt return and be a slot guy.
Yeah. I wonder if Shakir gets dressed up this game, or are you thinking they're probably still going to go ahead and not dress him until it's another important kind of one of those games where you need to have the veteran and Crowder, right?
Yeah, I don't see him dressing until there's an injury. Honestly, he's going to be on that. Remember the first year, Devin and Moss and like a lot of guys didn't really dress until later in the year, and when there was like some kind of injury. I just don't see where are you going to play him?
Yeah.
I
don't know.
He doesn't play the special teams. Like Kumaro gets dressed because he's a 4-core special teams player.
Yeah. And we have and Crowder can return punts, so it's not something we need to have him out there for. So I agree with you. I don't think I think he's not going to dress this game again.
Question for Tommy.
None.
I don't think Hart dresses this game with Tommy Doyle back. I think Bobby Hart is inactive.
Yeah, I don't see him active, especially if Doyle's playing. I just can't see it happening.
They have some grown men on the D line. They do, and we were talking about this. One of the key matchups this week is Roger Saffold versus Jeffrey Simmons. Jeffrey Simmons is one of the top 5 defensive tackles in football. And he may be top 3.
Yeah,
he's not as consistent as Aaron Donald as a game wrecker, but that guy can wreck games.
Yeah.
So it'll be interesting to see how our 2 guards does against Simmons. They don't have Harold Landry. Harold Landry's done for the year with a torn ACL, but they still have Bud Dupree. So it's Simmons and Dupree rushing as their 2 main guys. So it's as long as we can control those 2, and maybe it's a fault we follow along the game plan as we did last week. Quick hitters, boom, over the top.
What I like, and I get that he's a beast on deep, but Saffold was in that. Saffold played with Titans. He's familiar, very familiar with him, in that defensive line. So if anyone knows their tricks, knows how they, knows how they play, it's going to be Saffold. And you don't, and of course, Saffold, of course, he's telling his other fellow linemen, here's what they do. Look out for this. This is what they like to do. And Saffold is,
him and Questenberry.
Yeah, like I don't think you guys really understand. Like this dude is a dog. Like this guy,
he's an all-pro.
He is solid as you get. So he ain't get smoked, by this. I think he's gonna handle his business, and I think also I believe Ken Dorsey probably asked him, hey, what do they like to do? Of course, that's the name of the game. We all know that, right? There's players that get released and picked up by teams that are playing the team the next week just because they want to know some inside scoop. They may not even play the guy.
That's
teams do it all the time.
Belichick 101.
Yeah, so trust me, Saffold knows these guys. I'm not saying they won't. We're just going to totally dog them out, but I think we'll be just fine on the offensive line. I think our offensive line held up. By the way, our offensive line held up well against one of the best, if not the best, in Aaron Donald, right? So,
Chewy comes in and says, this is a great comment by Chewy. I can see tight ends sliding over to help against Simmons. It could be tight ends. It can be Knox. He did some of that last week. It could be Gilliam. Gilliam did a bunch of chipping and assisting with Donald last week. So I can see a lot of that. You're right. That's a great comment. I like what Scott comes in and talks about, and he says we should be able to get pressure with their O-line, rookie right tackle, and a left tackle that needs assistance these days. Yeah, because Taylor Lewan has struggled, especially on third down. He's still a really good run blocker, but in pass protection, he struggles.
Yeah.
And going up against Von Miller.
Yeah, I'm not concerned. I think our defensive line, like we're definitely going to get to the quarterback. We're going to do the same thing we did last week, which is rush 4. I don't even see us blitzing again, Mikey. I really don't. I think this is another game where we just rush the 4 and we contain the run. I don't see us blitzing. I just bring the 4, see what happens, contain Henry. I think they get home.
When they call it a blitz, it's still only a 4-man pressure. It's just it's where you're bringing the 4 men, because there's a few times that we dropped Vaughn and Jordan Phillips into coverage, and brought like a linebacker and a corner.
Right.
So it's still a 4-man pressure. It's just an exotic 4-man pressure. And then they ran a lot of stunts and games and things. So yes, and with their rookie right tackle and left tackle, not including most of their interior offensive line is banged up, it could be a really good game for our defensive line again.
Yeah, I don't see it being a problem. I just don't. I think that this is exactly why Brandon Beane bulked up for games like this, for teams that were coming to Buffalo and beating us in our own home stadium when it was in lousy conditions. We weren't built last year on either side of the ball to play, especially in Buffalo late December, right? Yeah. I know this is not a late December game, but there's still Tennessee is a running
one
team.
Of the most physical teams in the league.
Yeah, so Brandon Beane, I think he totally understood that. Leslie Frazier totally understood where our weaknesses was, and that's why we did what we did in the offseason.
We attacked it.
I don't. And look. Yeah,
with beef. With beef.
Yeah, with beef.
It was a change.
Speed too, by the way.
Yeah. If we go back and look at last year, we were very light and fast on the interior. This year, we're big, we're still fast, but we got a lot of beef on the inside now. On the offensive line, we brought in Questenberry, we re-signed Bates, who played fantastic down the stretch, and we brought in Saffold. We brought in run blockers as well as pass blockers. So, I'm excited to see what we're going to look like in week 2, especially on offense.
Me too. This will be a step up, obviously, as far as going against a better running team than the Rams. Rams, that's not the Rams.
Yeah, they were a more pass team than
Rams. So this will be obviously a step up, and we'll really kind of know where we stand. I'm sure we all know where we stand, but this will be our first test, right?
Of like, true physical run team.
Yes, this will be the real first test of the season, and we don't play the Colts this year, so we won't know how that works. But there's no better running back to go against than Derrick Henry. if you want to see how tough we are on our D line now, if we're going to win in the trenches or not.
Yeah, and Scott, that was a big thing that they talked about because they came out and said there was 0 blitzes, and I'm like,
yeah,
I'm pretty sure I saw the corners coming, but then I went back and watched I rewatched the game, and when they did that, they dropped D line, and there was one play where we sent Milano and we sent Johnson, and we dropped Phillips and we dropped Oliver, or no, Phillips and Miller into coverage. So we still only send 4, but yeah, they got exotic of the 4 that they bring, but they're still only bringing 4.
That's it.
Which is great. That's what I want to see. Drop 7, rush 4.
Yeah. Yep.
All year long, and get 15 QB hits and 7 sacks.
Yep. No problem with that.
Chewy, I hope so. I want to see them. I want to see Motor get 70% of the running back touches. I am one like after watching him at the end of last year when he took the majority of it, and then watching how well he played in the first half and how how do I say it nicely? Pathetic. The other 2 played, I would guess. Like I thought Moss played better than his numbers showed, because at the end he got a lot of like 1-yard carries. Like early in the game he played a little much better.
He did. He had a couple decent plays.
He had a couple decent runs. He was great in pass protection. Was good in the receiving game. His overall stats didn't look pretty, but like we saw one touch from Cook and he fumbled.
Right.
I want to see more Singletary. And if you want to get Cook involved, run jet sweeps with him. Get him out into pass routes. You don't got to hand him the ball.
I mean, it's like I said, man. Though I know I'm a Singletary guy, but his numbers are what they are. Though listen, his average is very good. Like he should get the ball a few more times. But I will say this though, that's why I love Singletary. He's a team player. He doesn't really care as long as we win. And I don't care. I'll be honest with you guys. If we win 31-10 again, I don't care if Singletary rushed it again for 6 carries for 50 yards. Like. Cool. Like I'll still say, hey, Singletary's so good, but we don't need him. This is the game plan, and we went with it. And Singletary's, trust me, I don't think anyone on this team cares about their stats as long as they continue to win, go to the Super Bowl, and win a Super Bowl. So whatever happens. But I will say, I do think there's going to be games where we do rely on Singletary. There's going to be. This isn't going to be 2020 again. Like where we just constantly pass. And I think with this improved offensive line, I think eventually they're going to get Singletary going in some of these, especially later on in the year, Mikey, when it's bad weather games, right? You're going to see Singletary more and more, and late in games too. Singletary is going to be used to wear down defenses, like, wear the clock down, so I think he'll get his touches. I think so. So Chewy
comes in and asks, does Crowder stay the return specialist? I think he does.
So.
I don't think we'll see Shakir. I think if Shakir is game day active, I think he's the returner, because he was listed as returner 1 on the depth chart. But I don't think he's going to be game day active unless someone gets hurt, because where are you going to find time for him on the offense? You're taking a roster spot for someone who only returns punts when you have, Crowder, who really looked great last week returning punts. Yeah. He had a 26-yarder and then, 2 or 3 fair catches?
Yeah, I agree. There's no reason. I mean, listen, it wasn't like, and I like Shakir, and Shakir is going to be good in this league.
Yeah. And
he's going to be really good. Yeah, in this league, whatever. I just think right now McDermott sees it as we signed Crowder for a reason. He's a veteran who's still playing at a pretty high level. He's a very good slot, which we need, a guy that Josh Allen can rely on. Even though Shakir has great hands and all that, he's not there yet. Like he hasn't built that connection. He hasn't been in the, it's a trust factor too, I think, a little bit. And Crowder can listen. Shakir wasn't wowing me with punt returns, like touchdowns, but he was smart. He was very good at it. but there's no reason. Like he's not a game changer in the return game, is what I'm trying to say. I thought he was just more of a safe hands. He knows where to catch it, and so is Crowder. So why? There's really no like I wouldn't.
If we're not going to
substitute.
see him in the wide receiver rotation, there's no point in having him active on game day.
Exactly. But like I said, though, who knows how this season? Listen, it's a long season.
Yeah,
you never know what's
we're
going to
see him at some point this season. We're going to see him at some point this season, and he's going to have a role at probably towards the end of the year, much like a lot of the rookies that aren't first round picks, that are later round picks. Think about Milano. The first year he was here, he waited till like week 12 before he started over Ramon Humber.
Yeah, you're right.
You know, you can go back and look. You know, Devin Singletary sat behind Frank Gore for 8 games.
No, not 8. It was the first 4.
Was it only 4?
So what happened? What happened was it felt well. It did. I'll tell you, because it was it was the first 3 or 4, and then he got hurt. Remember he played 2 really good games.
Yeah.
And then he got injured, and then he was out 4 games. Okay. That's the only time he was ever injured. Then he came back, and he wound up having a pretty decent season. But only time he was hurt. But
like it was 8 games because.
Well, he missed like 4 or 5 games, including, you know what I mean. So yeah, I mean.
All right, we got a super chat from Scott Begley.
Hey, thank you, Scott.
I truly believe that our odds increase to take it all if Singletary puts the NFL on notice. God forbid if they have to worry about our run game. It's over. And Scott, I'm with you 100%, bud. I would love to see them give Singletary 70% of the carries and the touches in the running back room and just see what the guy has. If he doesn't do it, great. You know, fine. We'll figure out the other guys. But he's looked the best so far over the last 2 years.
Yeah.
Let's see what he's got. And down the stretch, he changed our offense.
Right. I mean, and how, let's be real. So they drafted him in 2019. If they were really like thinking he's not the guy, or they would have went out and got some free agent running back to take his place. I mean, like, you know what I mean? Like,
they have drafted a 3rd rounder and a 2nd rounder.
Yeah, but they didn't ever take his place. And I don't think that was ever I think Zach Moss, I don't think he was there to take his place. I think Zach Moss was more of that. Compliment? Yeah, compliment, and was more of that short yardage. They were thinking that powerful little, goal line kind of back, and it just hasn't worked out yet that way. But Singletary, no, listen, I think they have faith in him. And I also think the way this offense is designed, we don't need like a ultimate running back. Yeah, exactly. So if
you look at the offensive scheme as well, Tommy, you go back to what the Patriots did. The Patriots had 3 backs. They had a pass catching back, they had a big bruiser, and then they had a scat back.
Yeah.
You know, if you go back and look at how this, because you have to remember, this is that same system that the Patriots ran for all those years. You know, so seeing that, now we have 3. We have a pass catching back, we have a power back, and Singletary is more of our scat back.
Yeah, I think Singletary can do it all, though. I will say that, though,
because he does run between the tackles a whole lot better than I expected.
Yeah, he's strong. It's not like, his contact balance is very good. And I think McDermott loves the kid. Like McDermott gets very excited whenever he gets the ball, because he knows he's going to make some kind of play, even if it's 3 yards, because it's probably going to be a tough 3 yards.
As long as he's not getting hit 5 yards in the backfield, he's usually getting 1.
100%.
Chewy comes in and says the odds of a Bildo sighting Monday night. I believe it'll probably be about 70% because Stephon Diggs has a bet with the Pat McAfee show, to where if the one lands and he punts it into the crowd, they'll him and AJ Hawk's gonna donate money. So I have a feeling the Mafia is gonna bring one, toss it there when Diggs scores a touchdown, and Diggs is gonna punt it and make some money for charity. I'm telling you, it's gonna happen. I'm telling you, it's gonna happen.
I cannot believe we do that. It's really unbelievable we do that, man. It's funny, but it's just unbelievable. Oh God.
Okay, man. So moving on, we'll move on to hold on, Pim comes in and says something. The back should have a more carries than Josh. Yeah, you're right. The back should have more carries than Josh. The days of Josh out carrying our starting running back should end this week.
I hope so. I do, man. Like, I do hope so, Mikey, because I think Ken Dorsey understands that. I do, but I also think Josh Allen may not understand that quite yet, because he has options on these plays. A lot of them,
Mm-hmm.
he could give it up more. It's his choice.
And there was only I think there was 3 of the 10 carries Josh had was from a read option. The other 7 were from passing plays that he just took off.
Yeah, I don't mind. Yeah, like, see, that's not design though.
Yeah,
I don't mind that. If it's not a called run for Allen, then we can't blame Dorsey for why is Dorsey running Allen so much. Like, if Allen takes off because the play broke down or he sees an opening, that's not Dorsey calling a run play for Allen. That's Allen being Allen. So we got to be careful when we blame Dorsey moving forward, because I think Dorsey does want to dial it back on run calls. Exactly.
Yeah. Well, Josh said as much on the Kyle Brandt's basement. You know, he talked about it and said that that was kind of on him. He needs to be smarter about it. But anyways, let's move into the 3 keys to the game this week, Tommy. My 3 keys. Our O-line needs to set the tone against that D-line.
Mm-hmm.
Our run defense needs to be on point. Because if we can control that run game, I have a feeling we're going to blow them out. Because I'm not scared of that pass game. And then fast start for the offense and red zone conversions. We need touchdowns, not field goals. That's what got us last year. We started 100%. Out driving in the first 2, and we had to settle for 2 field goals early.
Yeah, I agree. 100%. I agree.
Those are my 3 keys to the game.
So I'll piggyback off you with the red zone. Red zone is so important. Though we improved since last season, dating back, I guess, since the Tampa kind of game, I wouldn't say we started to really get better at that, and we haven't really looked back. We've been pretty damn good at getting in their touchdowns in the red zone. That is important against this team. In-game adjustments, which once again we did that very well last week. I want to see that continue, because I think this game we're going to have to do some, that'd be on the offense or defense. That's important. You know what I mean? Which I think Ken Dorsey did a phenomenal job last week. And that's something that Dable just didn't do very good. And then I want to say our defensive line, just holding it down and defending, limiting Derrick Henry to, taking away the big runs. That's all I want. He's going to get 3 yards, 4 yards, 6 yards. He's going to get that.
Don't give him that 60.
Can't give him that 35, 40, 50, take it to the house kind of run. Can't do that, because that's just a backbreaker in a way too. We cannot have that happen. And I think, listen, I always said Tannehill, I don't think he's a bad quarterback, but he's in the middle of the range, man. You take away Henry and leave it to Tannehill, that game over, in my opinion. So
you can win with him. You don't win because of him.
Exactly. So take Henry out, and you'll get the same. You'll get results. They'll lose the game, just like listen. Last week they lost to the Giants because they took Henry out. Right? They limited Henry, and they left it up to Tannehill. And look what happened. They scored 20 points, I think. So that's just not, if the Giants can hold them to 20, we can hold them under 20, in my opinion.
Yeah.
I don't see why not. So just throwing that out there. So those are my keys.
716 is going to be in the house at the Ralph Monday night.
Nice. And Alexi still calling it the Ralph too.
Yeah.
Love it.
It's always going to be the Ralph. Until it's a new stadium, it's going to be the Ralph.
Hi, Mark. Get the hell out of here with that. It's ridiculous.
Jose comes in and says, damn right, very simple. If you go up 14-17, let them run the ball, right?
Yeah.
Tannehill will throw 2 picks, and the Bills will win 37-13. Oh, love that score prediction. Love that score prediction.
Mine's very close to that, by the way, Jose. Very close to that, which we'll give score predictions later.
Yeah. Well, not much later. It's
you want to do it?
On that time, buddy.
Go,
It's closing in on that time.
That's true. We do got another show. Everybody that's in the chat, we got a show at 9:30 NFL overtime with me and Curtis, and Mikey is joining us again. And that'll just be just everything, not just Buffalo Bills, but just NFL talk in general.
Week two.
Yeah, 9:30. So pretty much 40 minutes from now.
Yep. So before we get into our score predictions, chat, give us your score predictions. Let us know what you think as we go through ours.
Let's hear it.
Tommy,
Let's hear it.
I'm gonna start with you, buddy. What's your score prediction for this week?
Okay. I think 41-10. 41-10.
Okay. Wow, I think we're dropping a 40 spot, huh?
We're dropping a 40 spot. I don't see why we want it.
And I have it as 38-17.
All right, I like it.
Okay, so we got some scores that came in here. Chewy comes in to 27-14.
Okay. I like it.
DG comes in and says 38-17.
All right.
These are all
butt whip. These are all butt whipping. So
yep. Tim, 37-17.
I see a lot. I think a lot of see 17s. They very agree with you. 17.
Well, Y-Town comes in and says, "Does James Cook get inactive on Monday night?" And then he has it 33-13.
Okay.
Tommy's right. It's going to really depend on what happens with our defensive line.
Mm-hmm.
If we lose Oliver and we lose Settle, there's a chance that one of those guys gets inactive, just so we can have more rotation guys and as a call ups from the practice squad. We already called up Braden Bryant. We might call up Prince Emili or one of the other guys that comes up, TJ Brewer or something like that, and we might need that spot. Ultimately, I'd like to see him active, and I'd like to see what he can do in this offense, because he really didn't get to show anything in week one.
Yep.
So I'd like to see him get another opportunity, but I have a feeling it's going to play into what the injury situation is.
Yep, that's all it's going to be about.
Angry Buffalo comes in and says 41-17. You have 17-41. Are you saying we're going to lose 41-17?
Hey, whoa. No, there's no way.
I'm just kidding.
He's not that angry.
It's a way home, so I get it. Going through here. Best says, wow, complete blowout. I think so. We're just a better overall team. If we come out and play our game and we don't play down to the competition, we should blow them out.
Yeah,
Tommy's beer consumption over under is at 5.5. Let me know. You're gonna be over or under?
I'll be over for Monday Night Football. I'll be over for sure. 100%. I'll be over that. Come on now.
Tommy has 7 beers and breaks one for a 75-yard TD.
Yeah,
he'll be cracking one, and doing a shotgun for Davis's 75-yard touchdown.
75. I'd be dead.
No, Davis is going to have one, and you're going to shotgun a beer.
Oh, I thought it was me running for.
Nope. And you're going to see Tommy do a video that he's going to post on Mafia Sports Report, him shotgunning beer, celebrating the big long touchdown.
Oh yeah,
that's what I'm.
Speaking of Gabe Davis, that's another reason why I have this season a little bit higher as far as offensively scoring, and he has found his way since that Chiefs game, since the playoffs. And I think defenses are now in a lot of trouble with this offense, because not saying we were limited before when we had Stephon Diggs and Cole Beasley, but he's a different animal. Like he's really coming into his own, Mikey. And I think defenses are having a very tough time guarding Gabriel Davis. Mikey, I mean, looking back at that Rams game, I watched it again. He just, man, dude, I'm telling you, man, he got faster. The one thing I thought about him when he first came out, I'm like, okay, I like his size. He's a little slow. I didn't think slow, but I thought he was average speed. And man, I'm telling you, man, he's definitely looks faster and stronger out there. and that is a problem for defenses.
Yeah.
And is he now our over the top guy? Is he now the deep ball deep threat?
He's become one of them.
Right.
Stephon still gets deep, but he's become one of our biggest deep threats.
I mean, listen, I love Stephon going deep, but he has the height over Stephon. Like, he can go up there and get it too. You know what I mean? Not saying Stephon can't, but he's just a bigger. Like, I almost would trust him on a one of those 50-50 balls. You know what I mean? Like, that he'll go get it. You know what I mean? Yep. But man, I just this year is going to be special, guys. I'm telling you, and that's why the difference between last season's game against the Titans and this is, I think, it's just night and day, man. We are just
honestly, it's our defense
and our offensive line improved.
Yeah,
I mean, really, the two key areas, Mikey, that last year that really held us back is our strong point. This season. So it's like the two things that were just kind of like,
glaring holes for us.
Yeah, like, and we were screaming it. It finally. Yeah. Go ahead, Mike.
We do have a Titans fan in the house, so we appreciate you coming in. He said, "There's no way I'm going to sit here and say a blowout. I got it, 31-23 Bills is what he put out. He did send the Bills win." After.
Is he saying the Bills win?
He's saying the Bills are going to win 31-23. He doesn't think it's going to be a blowout, which I can respect that.
100%.
I got to ask him though. Are you concerned knowing that Fulton's going to be out and your interior O-line's a little bit banged up? Let me know that in the chat. But other than that,
I will say this too, though, just to throw that out there. We are finally at home. It's going to be super loud. I'm telling you guys, it's going to be super loud, and that only helps us out even more. So Monday night, listen, you saw at the Rams game that he had to go on a silent count in LA, Stafford. This is at home. So that only helps us even more. So yeah, man, there's a lot going wrong for the Titans this game, in my opinion. That's one of them.
Yeah, it's one of those things. I love what Jose comes in and says. He says he's seen a show with the ankle doctor. He said Oliver's probably going to play because he also came on. That same doctor came on and said that Trey White wouldn't be playing until probably week 8. So I would love to see Oliver play. Honestly,
I feel like I'm the damn doctor. I said the Trey White week 8. Nobody. You guys yell at me when I say it. I'm the big idiot.
Yeah.
But you go to see this special doctor. Now
the guy who actually went to medical school. Yes.
Hey,
I listen to the guy who went to medical school.
I'm sure my degree's somewhere back there on the wall somewhere. Right. Tommy says week 8.
Our resident Titan fan came in and says, "Yeah, he is concerned about that, and the environment is crazy. He just thinks that they're way better as an underdog." You know what? I'll tell you this. I would be surprised, knowing that it's a Vrabel team, if they laid down and took a blowout. That would surprise me. Vrabel has his teams ready and they're physical. Yeah. I expect a dogfight in the first half, and I expect us to pull away in the second half. That's what my expectation is.
I will agree with you there, Mikey. Their coach is a tough SOB.
I love him.
He gets his I'll give him credit. Out of all the Belichick dudes that came from over there or whatever.
And when we say Belichick dudes, we know he didn't coach with Belichick.
Right.
But he played for Belichick.
Exactly. You know what I meant. Like, as far as not coach.
I just want to make sure that we clarify this.
All right. Let me clarify. Played under the Belichick system, so kind of comes from that way of thinking.
He is an Urban Meyer guy, because Urban he coached with
but either way, he brings it. He brings it. He gets his players to bring it. And listen, and I'll say this again. I'm not dogging on Tannehill when I tell you he's a mid-range, like he's in the middle of the quarterbacks, which is not a slight by. Like, that's not bad, right? And he makes big plays. I just think if we limit Derrick Henry, then that's what he is. And I think our defense is too good to let Tannehill beat us. That's the only thing I'm saying. That's why I think this game won't be close, because I think we improved enough on the defensive line to limit Derrick Henry this game and to force Tannehill to, beat us, and I just don't see that happening. That's not a slight on him. It's just I think our defense is overwhelming.
Yeah, and I don't even think it's really Tannehill. I mean, they have a recovering Robert Woods who will be better later in the year than he
That's
is
true,
today.
and they have
the rookie. They have no AJ Brown, no Julio Jones, no John.
Yeah, that's big. Yeah, that's huge too.
And
Huge loss.
Tannehill plays better when he can do play action. Tannehill's a really good quarterback when he can play action. He's a fantastic play action quarterback.
Yeah,
he's got a big arm.
Yeah.
The problem with Tannehill is
he can move too.
If you put it on him where they can play for the pass, that's where he struggles. And he doesn't have the weapons that he's had in the past.
No, he doesn't. The AJ Brown departure, that's huge, man. I was shocked when you guys traded him on draft day. So yeah, Mikey's right. Mikey, I kind of totally forgot about the AJ Brown thing. That's a huge loss for the Titans. Like I said, and that's why I'm also saying you take away Derrick Henry.
Yeah.
They're very limited on offense, like who they're going to. So that's why I just think
Julio was a problem in that game for us too. He wasn't a problem a lot all year, but against us, Julio was a problem for us.
Yeah. No, I agree. He's a veteran.
Yep. So with that, Tommy, we'll wrap up this show. We'll be back in about 40 minutes for the NFL overtime. We'll be on tomorrow, twice tomorrow. One for the Fantasy Kingdom Fantasy Show at 1 p.m. Eastern. And then what time is your shakedown?
6 o'clock.
6 o'clock Eastern. Okay.
Yep.
And then we'll see you guys right after the game on Monday night, as Tommy and I will be on Buffalo Fan Base and right here on Mafia Sports Report to do a post game and our Mafia Sports Report live show. So with that, Tommy, why don't you kick in the best closing intro in the business?
Go Bills. Peace out, guys. Bills Mafia #1. Peace.